Hello, today I'm going to show you some basics of working in 3D with Rhino. As you can see, there are the 4 views and you'll be using all of them. This is the top view, perspective view. Perspective view allows you to rotate and see your project from different angles. The front view is here and the right view is down here. So, there's a few different ways that you can build in 3D. One way is if you're just using basic shapes, then you can use, there's a series of different shapes that you can use. There's the box tool that asks you to figure out the dimensions of it. And then you can go down to the front view and choose how high you want it to be. As you can see there, it's a 3D shape. If you want this to be shown in a different way, you can choose the way that you want to see it. So it's wireframe right now. You can see now that it's shaded in. It's rendered. Ghosted. So we're just going to stick with wireframe for now. Let's try some other shapes, shall we? Here's a cylinder. Works much the same way. Choose the middle. Find the radius. Then you can pull it up like that. Plenty of other tools. You can use the sphere tool. You can make a sphere just like that. You can make there's plenty of different shapes that you can play around with. Cone shape. See now, there's a cone here. And there's the pyramid tool. You can select the number of sides that you want your pyramid to have. I want a traditional pyramid, so it's going to be a 4-sided one. There you go. You go down to the front view. See, these two look the same from the front, but when you look here, you can see the difference. So, we have a few different shapes now. Let's try to combine them into something cool. So this shape will fit onto here easily. You can do is just drag it up using the front view. You can see that they are now next to each other. Now, if you want to actually have them fully connected for 3D printing, you need to explode both shapes. So that's the explode tool. And you can see that separated it into this, to that, and this. So we'll delete this, and we'll do the same exploding for this shape. It into that, that, and that. So I'm going to delete both of those. Now these two shapes can actually be joined together using the join tool. You can see that's one now one shape, and here it shows you that it's a closed poly surface, and to 3D print an object it needs to be a closed poly surface. So let's start adding that to some other shapes. Here we can have these put together. Cool. And then we need to do the exact same thing with exploding. Getting rid of that. Exploding that. Getting rid of this plane. now join it all together. You have another object. So let's try to combine these two shapes, these three shapes. What we will do is rotate this shape around. So I'm gonna have it down here. And to do that, we'll use the rotate tool, which is right here. And we'll choose the point which you want to be the axis for rotation. Move it up. And now that is down there. But I also want to use the circle in this. So let's see what we can do. As you can see now, we've created this really interesting shape. Now what we're going to do is use this view. See, I'm selecting that. I'm having it split by this and this. Now these shapes are extra, but we also need to have this and this split by the circle. Now we have this circle and this circle. So now these shapes can be put together. So join, and it's a closed poly surface. Now I'm actually going to 3D print this, and so there'll be an example in the lab of what I've created, and you can see for yourself. So I'm going to position it correctly. You can see now we have our shape. In order to 3D print this shape, I will select it, press export selected, and export this file as an STL. STL stands for stereolithography, and it's the main file that 3D prints. We'll name it shapes. Save it, and now 3D print it from the other computer. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial.